Okay, so cool. Big homie J5 about to hit you again with another video, so you already know what type time I'm on. Today we're going to talk about the new purge law in Illinois and the tragic events that happened at PNB Rock recently. Let's jump right into it. So everybody knows that starting January 1st, 2023, they're trying to enact the new Safety Act, which will remove the cash bond from Illinois and make several crimes non-arrestable offenses. So let's jump right into it.
Cannot be understated how significant of a role the media plays in quashing progressive movements and keeping more Black people in jail. And it's frustrating because every time we say the criminal system isn't broken, it's working as intended, these are the outlets and institutions that respond, no, we still need to have faith in the system. We need reform, we need reform, we need reform. But then every time we actually get substantive progressive reform, here they go with campaigns like this filled with lie. And please trust that it's not a coincidence that they're going to places like the Shade Room and Baller Alert with Black audiences to peddle these lies, because what they want is for Black people to internalize propaganda and lies so that we don't support progressive initiatives that are designed to keep us out of jail. So I'm going to dispel these myths about the purge law, because there is no purge law. All there is a concerted effort by media, right-wing Republicans, and neoliberals to keep Black people in jail. You probably heard about Rikers, because Rikers is infamous. But less people realize that Rikers is a pre-trial detention center, meaning the people incarcerated at Rikers have not been convicted of a crime. Last year, 16 people died in Rikers. This year, 13 people died in Rikers, and Rikers has already been declared a human rights crisis. So what if I told you that the crisis happening at Cook County Jail was worse? Cook County Jail is the pre-trial detention center in Chicago, Illinois, meaning the people incarcerated at Cook County Jail have not been convicted of a crime. They simply just don't have the money for bail. And that's an important point people need to understand about bail. Bail is not about public safety. Bail is about whether or not you can afford your freedom. Period. I am a public defender who represents people that are incarcerated at Rikers, where people are killed, people are beaten, people are sexually assaulted, people spend years of their life. And I'm telling you that I was floored to find out that there are people sitting in Cook County Jail waiting on a trial for 4 years, 8 years, even 11 years. So let me tell you about what the Chicago Public Safety Act would do. The first lie being circulated is that this bail reform will prevent police from being able to make arrests. False. Not only can police arrest whoever they want, like they've always been able to, all the bail reform law does is encourage them not to make completely low-level arrests that they could write tickets for. And you wanna know what else? A law enforcement agency proposed that language. The Public Safety Act would take low-level crimes, low-level misdemeanors, non-violent crimes, and instead of those being bail eligible, where you sit in jail because you don't have the money, you fight your case from the outside, because now judges cannot set bail and keep you incarcerated for something they probably otherwise would not have been able to. What this Public Safety Act would do is it would get rid of the cash bail system. It doesn't mean that nobody goes to jail pre-trial. It means that instead of whether or not you're free or you're in jail being determined based on how much money you have, instead, prosecutors would have 3 different options that they could keep you detained should they so choose. Prosecutors will have an option to present evidence to the judge showing that you are a threat to public safety, or that you have engaged in some kind of willful flight from prosecution, or if you're simply charged with most felonies and they can have you detained pre-trial. The reality is that the vast majority of people in our criminal system are living well beneath the poverty line. They're represented by public defenders because they cannot afford representation, which is a fact. The same court that will then place high bail on them they know they can't afford it. So it's a tactic by which we put poor people in jail for things we probably couldn't prove at a trial. They probably never have a trial. It's a way to coerce them into plea deals. But it is not about public safety, because at the end of the day, if you have the money, you can buy your freedom. So what this act does is it gets rid of that component, and it actually makes it about dangerousness. It makes it about whether or not the prosecutor has some evidence that he can present to justify detaining you pre-trial, rather than just using and exercising your own wealth or lack thereof against you. Listen to me. Do not fall for the propaganda. They're calling it the purge law because they want you to believe that a law designed at affording you more rights, at preventing you from being railroaded, at preventing more deaths from mounting inside a Cook County Jail is not there to help you. It's a lie. It has nothing to do with public safety. Listen, we allegedly live in a civil society with a presumption of innocence where people should not die awaiting their trial for crimes they have not been convicted of. That shouldn't be what's happening, but that is what's happening each and every day inside this country in pretrial detention centers all around this country. But Cook County Jail and the pretrial detention centers in Chicago and in Illinois are some of the worst. This law is meant to help us. Do not mind the propaganda.
Check this out. I'm going to show you how I...
Okay, so cool. All right. So as you heard her say, that's why I had to go do my research on there, cause Negroes never look into anything. Somebody believe things. Somebody post something on Facebook. They don't do any fact checking. They don't make sure it's true. They don't do any research on it from themselves. They just let somebody else tell them what to believe and steer the narrative. No, don't give me the angle. Just give me the story. You dig what I'm saying? So, as you see, if you really think that you can go commit second-degree murder and then they just gonna give you a ticket and release you back on the streets, you're crazy. I have to dig more into it to see exactly why they saying those are non-arrestable offenses. But as you just heard a lawyer from New York say, and if you think that them folks is gonna let you commit crimes and not put you behind bars, then you're sadly mistaken. I had to jump right into it because I had a whole different take on that purge thing. Is because what you're not understanding is that they're overwhelming the criminal justice system with all these crimes. So with all the crimes they're committing, just I think maybe yesterday there was a mass shooting in Chicago when 6 people got shot and one person one person passed away. So it's only so much manpower and things people that police departments and can do in these high crime areas. You guys won't, we're not gonna say you guys, but the criminals refuse to quit committing crimes. They want to keep going on drilling and want to keep doing this and doing that and just can't do right. And so they can't put everybody behind bars. So like she said, and I don't believe in a cash bond system, that is the goofiest thing ever, to let somebody out of jail for committing a crime because they have the money and letting somebody who does not have the money leave them incarcerated. I've set the record in a county for being on pretrial services. If you don't know what pretrial services is pretty much you're supposed to be innocent until proven guilty. However, if you get released of a crime and they release you on bond or whatever like that, it's pretty much a probation before you even got convicted of a crime. They can give you urine tests. You have to call and check in on them. You have to go see them, just like probation. It's probation before you get on probation. They remove your rights. You can't use your firearm. You can't do drugs. You're not supposed to be drinking alcohol like that. And so they're already convinced. If I'm innocent, why are you removing my rights from me? And I can just imagine. Like I said, I set the record for pretrial services in my county awaiting trial for a case that I ended up beating. So just imagine that if I didn't have the money to bond out, I would have been on there over 3-4 years in jail awaiting my trial. All because they had a weak case and they knew they did. And to be completely honest with you, I probably would have pled guilty waiting on that long if I could, but there wasn't no plea deal. They don't offer plea deals for gun charges because they didn't caught you with a gun. What type of pleas we gonna give you? How can we lower you being in possession of a gun illegally? It's no wiggle room with that. They can wiggle you around doing certain other crimes, but if you didn't got caught with a weapon that you was not legally allowed to have, or you're suspected of that, there's nothing to plead out to. Nothing to plead out to. So I had to take it to the box. But as long as they had me wait, I had my first daughter on the way. I probably would have just took a lesser charge so I can get it. Because you know they would just offered me probation. I was a first-time offender, never been arrested, never been in trouble. If they could have, they'd have just gave me probation. They'd have threw a year of probation at me, and I probably would have took it like a fool instead of just waiting it out. But if I was incarcerated, yeah, man, come on, man. That's too much leaving somebody locked up for 3-4 years for a petty crime like that because they ain't got the money. But if you got the money, they'll lock them up. No, either you let them go if you feel like they're not a flight risk and they're not gonna hurt nobody else while they awaiting their trial date, or you leave them in jail if you think not. That's it, and that's all. It makes no sense to lock somebody up and leave them incarcerated because they don't have enough money to bond out, and they give you them high bonds in certain instances, so you can't bond out. And I'm telling you, they do this all the time anyway. For the most serious crime I've been arrested for, they OR'd me out. I promise you, multiple felonies OR'd me out. And for little tiny charges, they didn't gave me thousands of dollars, $7,500 bonds and all of this for little tiny minor charges. Then when I really do catch a couple Fs, they go ahead and OR me out. Why? Because they didn't have a room in the jail. That's why they was ORing everybody out. If you wasn't doing something, you had to do something real major, real crazy to have them keep you at that point in time, because the jails were just overcrowded. So I could tell you right now, in Cook County and places like that, it's too much crime going on there. You see what these guys are doing there. They just had a shooting yesterday. So, excuse me. So that part of it, I'm in completely in agreement with. What the sister said about the bail system, I'm completely in agreement with that. The part where the police can lock you up, I'm not sure on that. I have to look it up, because I mean the police chief went on the news and said. And that's what I'm saying. It's conflicting information going on, because the chief went on there and said that somebody could live in your shed in your backyard, and you will have to determine the amount of force used to remove them. But that could be propaganda also. That could be trying to steer the narrative also, because I think they know very well that they not. Excuse me. I need to drink some water, but my water bottle holding the phone up, so I can't get a glass of water right now. A sip of water, but. No, I don't think nothing's gonna happen. They do this crap all the time and make something so crazy and make you worried and be scared and think that this is gonna happen. It's not gonna go like that. It's not gonna go like that, I promise you. Wait till January. It's like they talk about this food shortage and the water shortage. People been preparing for these food shortages and these water shortages for years. And ain't nothing came behind it. They come up with all these conspiracy theories and all these tactics to try to scare you. They come up with something new all the time. And this is just another one of them tactics. I think you know very well that if you commit second-degree homicide, they're gonna lock you up. You really think that you're gonna shoot somebody and then the police figure out you did it, and when they come serve the warrant, it's not gonna be an arrest warrant. It's gonna be a ticket warrant. Tell you to go to you're gonna go to jail, dog. You're gonna go to jail. You're not gonna be out here robbing people and intimidating public officials and things like that and think you're not gonna go to jail. I can't see. I have to do more research and see the rhetoric. But you just heard an attorney say out of her own mouth that that's not the case. They most certainly will, but they're trying to weed out from low-level arrests, and they do. The police do need to focus on more serious crimes and arresting people. And I know it seems like the opposite with how they worded it and saying things like that all these major crimes are not going to be taking people to jail for. But I think people are steering the narrative with stuff like that. Come January 1st, they're going to quit bothering people for all small crimes, street pharmaceuticals and things like that don't really hurt nobody and whatever like that. But if you think that you're gonna be out here robbing and threatening public officials, go threaten a public official on January 1st, 2023, and see if your ass ain't end up in Cook County jail or whatever other county you are in Illinois. For that matter. So yeah, that's all I got to say on that. Big homie J5, know I've been gone a while. Hit that like button. If you're not subscribed, subscribe to the channel. I've been gone a while. I've been on vacation, enjoying myself. I had the best week of my life on Labor Day, and I enjoyed myself. But you know, I had to come back and hit you off with some content, and I'm gonna keep hitting you off with some content. So big homie J5, gone.